here's a quick video tutorial on how to install a head turner mechanism on your 12-foot tall Inferno skeleton. So to prepare, you're going to need your head, your main torso body, the module itself, the bag of screws it comes with, a Phillips head screwdriver, a drill, and a 1/8 inch drill bit. First things first, you're going to remove this plate on the main body of the skeleton by removing all of these little screws. And we are also going to be removing the plate on the bottom of the head by removing all of these little screws as well. Okay, so now that we've got these plates removed, we can stick them along with all of the little screws off to the side for safekeeping in case we ever need them again. On the head here, this wire is running out through this little rubber grommet. If you just reach your finger up inside of here and pull on that, it'll pop right in. We're gonna go ahead and thread this wire through this hole as well, and then bring it out down through the bottom. We no longer need this little rubber grommet, so we can go ahead and stick this off to the side as well as those plastic bits. And then on the main body here, we're going to do something similar by taking this wire and threading it down through here and bringing it up out through this main body here. Being cautious not to let it fall down inside because it's a pain to get back out. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and connect the wire coming out of the top of the module here into the wire coming out of the head. Once that's done, we can tuck all these wires up inside of the body here, as well as the main body of the module itself. On the back here, it's embossed with the letter B, and then there's also this little black screw. We want to make sure this black screw is lined up with the letter B, and the letter B also needs to be facing completely towards the back of the head here. So if we're looking at it from this angle, with this being the very back, we want to make sure that when this is installed, the B is facing directly towards the back as well. Now that this is inside of the head here, we just want to make sure that the edge of this piece is riding on the embossed edge down here. We don't want it to sit up like this because it won't sit flat, but instead we want it to pop right into that edge so it sits nice and flat and sturdy. Once again, making sure that the letter B is facing as directly to the back as we can get it, we're going to go ahead and drill our holes. On this model, because there's this gap up here, the top 3 holes, these 3 holes, will not be used. Only the 5 around the back, because these 3 will not be going into anything. Now that our holes are all drilled, we can take our 5 screws that are included, and we're just going to screw them in. I highly recommend using a handheld screwdriver instead of a drill or an electric screwdriver, just because we don't want to damage this plastic. Okay, so now our module's completely installed. Once again, noting that these 3 screw holes closest to the front of the head were not used because there's no plastic behind them in the head for the screws to go into. So we're only using the 5 across the back. Once again, also noting that this embossed B is facing towards the back and that this screw head is lined up with the B. If it's not, we can gently turn it so that it is lined up. And then we can go ahead and assemble our skeleton as instructed until it gets to the step that we attach the head. Okay, now that our head is assembled, we can connect this wire from the head into the body. And then we're just going to slip this black metal pipe up inside this gray PVC pipe. Make sure that this is threaded down inside of the torso, and go ahead and push it in. Notice that this has a lot of downward pressure because the skeleton is laying down. So if you gently lift up on the head, it helps it center and pop into place. Now that the head's attached, we want to make sure that this screw head is as centered to the back as we can possibly get it. So just eyeballing it, the center is about right here in the middle. We can take our Allen key or the head of a screwdriver and get it into the screw head here, and then just use that to torque it whichever way it needs to go, just until it's sitting centered. We also want to make sure not to twist the head using the actual head itself, because this is just attached to the motor, so it won't actually turn this at all. And if it's overexerted, it'll cause issues with the wires inside of the module. The head is not designed to turn more than 45 degrees in either direction. Once you have this centered where it's supposed to be, you can go ahead and tighten up this Allen key by a few turns, just until you feel gentle resistance. This will clamp down on that metal pole internally and help keep the head from slipping off. When you go to unassemble this, same thing, just in reverse, loosen this up, being careful not to over loosen it so it doesn't lose its thread, and then it will pop right off. But for now, we're going to leave it tight, and then we are all ready to go to stand up the skeleton. And once you're all done, you can plug him in, and after a few seconds, the head should start moving. Yep, and there it goes. And it will run on a continuous loop until the power is cut to the whole prop and come right back on whenever the prop turns back on. If you have any issues or questions, feel free to reach out and I will try my best to help you. But otherwise, thank you very much and hope you enjoy.